Hi everyone, it's Natalie with Mondays at 11, and I just have another video for the end of July since I wasn't here last week and the beginning of August. So here's how we're getting started. I can't remember if I had this finished or not in my last video, so I really like how this kind of came together. Just kind of put some stickers of all different things that kind of happen throughout the month, and just things that are important to me and stuff, so that it just kind of makes me happy when I open it up and see that. So going into ending July, this is my July highlights page, and those were just basically pretty straightforward things I filled in. I ended up using this July page as kind of a running bill tracker, and so I just color coded. I put down everything that on this side, these are like my other expenses that I had, just miscellaneous things. On this side I put bills that I had that had, like, you know, a specific due date, and then I highlighted, I did yellow for something that I wrote with a check so that I could keep track to make sure that that cleared my account. If I used a credit card to pay something, then I did that in green, and then if I made a payment to debt, then I did that in orange. And so, like here, if I wrote a check and it was a payment to debt, then I highlighted it in yellow for the check and then circled it in orange for the debt payment so that I could keep track of where I was at with that. I really liked how this turned out, so I'm going to keep doing this going forward. The monthly view, this was pretty straightforward. I just kind of was practicing with this monthly view. I'll show you more what I had for August for my monthly view. And I'm gonna make sure I have the light turned on here. Let me just get that on. Just 1 second, that'll give me just a little bit more light there, so that might make things a little easier to see there. Going farther into July, I had 2 weeks where I was working 2 jobs. I was quitting one job and starting another job, so I was kind of training my replacement at my first job and then being trained at my new job. So I had kind of a pretty busy couple of weeks. So for those 2 weeks, my planner was definitely just very functional and just kind of minimal on the decorations, and just using it mostly for whatever I needed that came up through the week, just notes that I needed to take, you know, like bill payment notes are under here, like confirmation numbers and stuff like that. And then just some notes that I wanted to keep track of, that I wanted to not lose and be able to find again. So I did that. And then this is how I'm dealing with the pages that are grayed out in the Plum Paper Planner. So I just took scrapbooking paper. This is where July ended, and so I took scrapbooking paper and just put that here and a picture, and that covered up those grayed out pages. And then for August, you can see where it's the opposite then. So the end of July is grayed out, so I put scrapbook paper there, and then just use the brighter colors. I like using the brighter colors rather than, I mean, I know a lot of people like to just see one whole week at the time, but I'd prefer just using the monthly as they are. So that's what I chose to do. At the end of July, this is how I'm using my last page in July, or the last page of each of my months. I have a mood disorder, so these are the things that I need to track for that, and it just really was a handy place to have everything all in one spot. So I liked having that. I'm going to continue doing that. The reflection page, that's something that I had added to my planner. This I had added in the dispersed, so it's at the end of each month. It just kind of seemed like a good thing to have at the end of each month, since the questions are kind of reflection questions. So I like how that worked out. I actually kind of filled it in a little bit throughout each month so that I could not have to try to remember everything at the end of the month. And then I had just kind of a nice review at the end of the month. These I actually kept track of a scale, a 1 through 10 scale. I kept track each Sunday of what my score was for each of these 6 items, and then I averaged them at the end of the month, and then that's how I knew what score to put down for the month and to fill it in. So I liked how that turned out also. This back page, I did fill that out at the end of the month. This has some nice goals for going forward, where you can reflect on what went well for the previous month, and then things that you want to change to improve for next month. So I really like this reflection page. I'll continue to get this in my Plum planners going forward. Then going into August, I decided to try a kit from KM Stickers for August, and the very first thing I did, which made me mad honestly, is I put the sticker down crooked. So I just made that one of my goals for the month, to just kind of embrace the imperfect and go with that. So I do like how these look. It just kind of adds a little extra color. I'm not sure if I'll keep using these or not, or if I'll just go back to using the regular printed page. I honestly like them both ways, so I might kind of go back and forth with that. So I do like having the birthdays here and the events for the month. I'm going to use these both for books. This is for a book challenge that I'm doing with Peanut Butter Taco, with the Sticker Shop Peanut Butter Taco. So I'll write my book in here that I do for that challenge, and then any other books that I read for the month I'll put on this side. And then I'll do my spending tracker on this page again. As I said, I really liked how that turned out. My August monthly calendar, I think I'm finally kind of finding my groove on this 2-page monthly calendar. I'm going to use it mostly for timed events, so like my work schedule, when we have appointments, and then I'm going to also use it for tracking bills and paydays, so that most bills I have set up on auto payment, so I don't really have to do anything with them, but it's just a good reminder for me to double check to make sure that they went through and that it was the correct amount and all that. And then just in this taskbar, I'm using just various things that come up throughout the month. Like August is getting ready for back to school for us, and so I put the totals of all of our school supplies here, so that then next year when I go to plan for school supply shopping, I'll have an idea about what we spent this year. So that is kind of handy. And then this was the end of the first week in August. Like I said, I showed you how this part was the grayed out ending of July, and so this is the full color part of August. So this is the part that I use. I'm going to go ahead and just use the color parts of the month, and then I've put scrapbooking paper or other note paper down for September. I just put note paper down, and then I put down like our school supply list. I wrote that down on this graph paper, and then on this paper I think it'll be handy to have a list of what bills are due and each day of the month that they're due. So that's what I'm going to do with this page here. So that's how I'm using those grayed out pages. And that was pretty much the end of that first week in August. And then this is getting us ready for, let's see, this was last week. And again, like I said, I was pretty busy last week with ending one job and beginning a new job both at the same time. So just really pretty functional stuff here, and just basically keeping track of notes of things that I needed to do, and then just, you know, very minimal decorations added. These pineapples, these date cover-ups, I get those from Peanut Butter Taco. The YouTube sticker, I get that from the Smushed Peach. And these eyeglasses stickers, I work at a vision clinic, and so those are from KM Stickers. She has a lot of really great stickers in her shop, especially for the Plum Paper Planner if you're looking for anything specific, and she's also great at customizing things. So if you need anything in particular for your planner, I'd really encourage you to reach out to her, because she's great to work with. Oh, and this sticker came from the Happy Planner quotes book. So, and this is also the beginning of each of my month pages. I put a sticker on there, and those also came from the Happy Planner quotes sticker book as well. And then this is just getting ready for next week. So this is all this is kind of a before the pen. So I just went in, and this I printed off on vellum paper. I was gonna start this week with doing a traditional plan with me, where I planned it, where I put everything down while I was talking on video to you all, but I'm gonna start that next week instead, because with this vellum I wasn't quite sure how that was gonna work out, and so I didn't know if I was gonna have to pull that back up or not. It smudged just a little bit here, and and it glued down immediately. So it is just also a little bit crooked, which if you know me in real life, you know that drives me crazy, but you know, it's okay. It's not really a problem. And this week is kind of turning into an orange week. It's just kind of how it turned out. So I kind of like that, though. I'm liking how that's starting to turn together. I'm looking forward to being back to a regular planning routine and a regular filming routine now that my work schedule has kind of gone back to a normal schedule. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So hopefully you guys are all having a great Sunday, and best wishes in your week ahead. Thanks a lot.